Hello, everyone. My name is Sharon, and welcome to Tambarara. Today, I'm joined by Mr. Guja, the CEO of Airports Company of Zimbabwe, ACZ. Welcome, Mr. Guja.
Thank you.
Is just a brief background of what ACZ is all about.
Thank you very much. So, the Airports Company of Zimbabwe is an entity which has been formed following the civil aviation reforms that have taken place in the country, where the Civil Aviation Authority of Zimbabwe has been split into two entities. That is the Civil Aviation Authority of Zimbabwe, which remains a regulatory body, but also responsible for the provision of air navigation services. And the Airports Company of Zimbabwe, which primarily is responsible for the operation and running as well as developing of airports in the country. So basically the Airports Company of Zimbabwe is a primary mandate is to establish, develop, operate, manage, control airports within the country. So everything that has to do with the management and operations of airports, as well as the infrastructure development of airports, is part of what the Airports Company of Zimbabwe is all about.
Okay, thank you, sir. You said ACZ mainly it's all about development of airports. And the Herald once ran a headline that said you were looking for investors for that cause. How far have you gone with finding investors?
Okay, so what we are about is not necessarily just the development, but the development and operating of the airports.
Okay.
We manage airports in the country.
Okay.
So what we are talking about when we were talking about the $100 million is that we are looking at developing airport infrastructure or airport related businesses, commercial activities around the airports.
Okay.
So that one is specifically to do with the developing of hotels, shopping malls, as well as industrial developments around the airports. So what we are currently working on is the preliminary paperwork, so that we go out in the market to look for the investment. We were putting it out there so that the market knows that there is potential for partnerships with the ACZ, which is something that we are pursuing.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, in line with that, how far have you gone with development in your regional airports, on your regional airports?
So, as you may be aware, we do have the airports that we call regional airports. There's 5 of them. That is Charles Springs, which is in Mount Amden, close to Harare. There's Kariba Airport. As the name implies, Kariba. There's Buffalo Range in Chirezi. There's Masvingo Airport in Masvingo, and there's Hwange National Park Airport, which is also right in the middle of Hwange National Park. So what we have done so far is that we have worked on Buffalo Range. We have improved the runway at Buffalo Range. We've given it a new life. It received an overlay in December of 2021. Works are currently on what we call the taxiway and the apron area, which is the aircraft parking area at the airport. Moving away from Buffalo Range, we will be then going to Kariba Airport as well as Charles Springs before embarking on works in Masvingo and Hwange National Park airports. Yeah.
So currently, how many flights are coming in through your airport?
Okay, so the total number of commercial flights that are coming into the international airports is 14.
Okay.
Yes.
And how much has been set aside for this expansion that you're talking about?
So for this year, we were fortunate enough to be given about $2 billion from Treasury. This is in addition to our own internal resources that we utilize. As you are aware, we are currently implementing the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport Development Project, which is a $153 million project,
Okay.
which we are expecting to see the new wings being completed this year.
Okay.
And then we move operations to those new wings. And then we close off the current terminal building for refurbishments, including the domestic terminal building for also refurbishments. So the overall completion will be set for 2023. But also, like I mentioned, the $2.7 billion, part of it is meant for the construction of an air traffic control tower at the JM Gomo International Airport, as well as an uplift catering facility at Victoria Falls International Airport, which is works that we have already started on now in terms of the preliminary mobilization and finalizing the designs like for the uplift catering facility. So that is what we are doing. So there is a combination of shareholder investment as well as internal resources and some loan financing that we also look for from the banks.
Is it? Have the banks been responsive though?
Like I said, currently we are working with a loan that we have received from China Exim Bank, of course through the government of the Republic of Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So there is a non-lending agreement between the Ministry of Finance to the Ministry of Transport and subsequently to the Airports Company of Zimbabwe through this then Civil Aviation Authority of Zimbabwe. Okay. So the logistics and the administrative work is what is taking place now. Right. Yes, but we have just started conversations with our bankers and we have alerted them that we will be approaching them looking for financing whenever we need loan financing. Okay. And because we have got a good working relationship with our banks, I don't see them not advancing the financing to us. Okay. Yeah.
All right. On the expansion program, does the expansion affect the Arlington estate?
Well, look, I wouldn't want to really talk about the issue right now because it is an issue which is being handled through the Office of the Minister of State for Provincial Affairs and Devolution. I'm sure we've received and had statements. What I can say in general is that we discourage developments that are close to the airport that are likely to encroach and affect airport operations. So those ones we discourage them in all our airports. Okay. Yes.
All right. So what is the ACZ doing to ensure watertight security measures at the airports? Because we've had reports of the scanners having issues. What is ACZ doing about it?
Okay, so you will find that in every situation where there is a human factor, it is not possible for you to really, well, it's not practical to achieve a 100% watertight situation. But what we've been doing is that we've had investors who have approached us to bring in additional equipment, modern equipment that will ensure that our screening processes are improved so that we are able to pick any illegalities that may be occurring. We also have a CCTV system in place where we do our surveillance and we continuously make sure that our airports are safe and our airports are secure. While we are at that, I can just state to you that yes, while the reports have been there and the instances have been there, when it comes to meeting the minimum requirements for the International Civil Aviation Organization, insofar as our security or aviation security is concerned, we are there among the top airports in the world. Wow. In 2019, we were audited and we scored around 73%, which is something that is above the regional average and, of course, slightly below the global average. But I think we are doing quite well in so far as the provision of aviation security is concerned. This is ensuring that we protect international civil aviation against acts of unlawful interference.
That's great work. Yeah. So what is the passenger capacity of all airports in Zimbabwe and what is the targeted capacity for ACZ?
Okay, so the combined handling capacity for our airports is at currently 5.5 million passengers per annum. Okay. Our target with the completion of the expansion for the Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport is to take that to 9 million passengers per annum, because we are increasing the capacity for Robert Gabriel Mugabe International Airport from the current 2.5 million to 6 million passengers per annum. So that is the capacity that we are targeting.
Oh. Well, there you have it. That was the CEO of ACZ, Mr. Kusha. We thank you so much for joining us this day. Don't forget to subscribe on Tambarara. I'm your host, Sharon. Thank you so much.